Vladimir Putin is on another temper tantrum. Recently, over the last couple of weeks, to my understanding, is the Ukrainian military has been launching a relatively good counteroffensive, retaking a lot of formerly captured locations in the eastern side of Ukraine. There's been a lot of, reports of war crimes, torture sites, mass graves being discovered in these formerly occupied by Russian territories. A lot of people have used the term genocide. I would say, based on what I'm seeing, I would definitely say a genocide is a good term to utilize. Again, there's evidence of children being murdered and slaughtered and tortured going on. Now, again, the opposing side is going to say that Ukraine is doing all of that. Ukraine is, there's military operations in Ukraine that are taking advantage of the chaos to, torture people in their own country. Possible. I mean, it is possible. Very unlikely. Probably like a 0.01% chance, but it is possible, right? If we were to be writing a fictitious story, I mean, it is possible, right? But anyway, so Vladimir Putin is on a temper tantrum. He does not like that the Ukrainian counteroffensive is doing so well. And he's doing this, I saw this little clip here. This gives us the important bits of his speech. And so there's subtitles at the bottom, so let's watch. I'll read along just for the audio listeners. But to protect our motherland, its sovereignty and territorial integrity, to ensure the security of our nation and people at the liberated territories, I consider it necessary to support the defense ministries and General Staff's proposals to hold partial mobilization in Russia. I reiterate, we are talking about partial mobilization. That is, only citizens who are currently in the reserve will be subject to conscription. And above all, those who served in the armed forces have a certain military specialty and relevant experience. Conscripts will obligatorily go through additional military training based on the experience of the special military operation before, I missed this guy's speaking too fast, before departing on the, I can't see it, the units. Yeah, see, there you go. The decree on partial mobilization is signed. Oh, that's great, he signed it. According to the legislation, Federal Assembly chambers, blah, 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 will be informed. Oh, they're going to inform the people. Anyway, so what he is saying in this speech, basically, is that he wants to defend Russia. Okay, he wants to defend Russia. Defend Russian sovereign integrity. The sovereignty of Russian land. Okay. Now, is Ukraine going into Russia? Has Ukraine signaled at all that they want to move the war into Russian territory and annex Russian cities and Russian territories to become part of Ukraine? Has Ukraine said that in any capacity? I've never seen anyone say that. I've never seen anyone who's even pro-Russia or pro-imperialism. I've never seen them claim that Ukraine is planning on annexing Russian territories. So that means, what is he talking about? Well, obviously what this means is Ukraine has successfully liberated a lot of their formerly, held by the Ukrainian military cities. Russian military operations took over in these cities. Again, mass evidence of war crimes, genocide, and torture going on in these locations. So Ukraine takes back its territory. So let's start this again. So Russia takes over another country's territory. That other country's territory, or that other country's military says, all right, we're going to take this back. It's mine. Now Vladimir Putin is saying Russia's under attack? What? $5 super chat from Andrew Kohler. Why are military slaves called conscripts? It's a better term than slave. You don't want to say slave on television. By the way, we just enslaved half the population. Come over here. Here's a gun. But again, I don't know, man. Seems to me that this motherfucker is, again, I use the term psychosis here because he is experiencing a mental health crisis. Right? He thinks that because you invade another country, that automatically, immediately makes that country yours, like it's property. So, like, for example, if I break in to my neighbor's house, it's my house now, right? I broke in. Let's say they're not home. Or let's say they are home, or whatever. Let's say they are home and I beat them up and then kick them out of the house. Is it my house now? And then let's say they come in with the cops, or they try to take the house back. Well, it's my house. It's my house. I broke in, and I claimed that it's mine now, so that means now I'm defending my home. Would I be able to qualify for, like, a stand your ground law? Let's say I brought a gun, and my neighbor's trying to get into their house again, and I shoot my neighbor. Well, they're not my neighbor anymore, because that's my house. I just have two houses now. I'm standing my ground. It's my house. Right? In Russia, maybe Putin would agree with me, and maybe I'd be getting off on that one. But everywhere else, it seems that is not the case. When you steal something, and they take it back, guess what? That's called, you stole something and they fucking took it back. That's not, oh, it's yours all of a sudden. What? How does that make any fucking sense? So again, Russia is losing the war in Ukraine. I mean, that's factual. A lot of people get triggered by this. Russia is losing the war in Ukraine. Now, we can argue as to why. Should they have sent in all of these reserve troops to begin with? Maybe. I don't know. If they really wanted to win, maybe. I don't know. Either way, as it stands right now, they're losing. They're not doing so well. And so Putin wants to save face and claim he's going to retake the territories. So again, I don't know. A little scary. But this is what happens when we live in a society, global society, where we just let 5 men that all have mental health issues run the world. You got like Joe Biden in the US, right? You got whoever the guy in the EU is, right? You got the fucking, the motherfuckers in Iran, India, Brazil, China, right? All these countries, Russia. And they get together. They're all men, by the way. They get together. And they have like, I don't know, are they on drugs all the time? Like they're experiencing psychosis, right? They're all old as fuck, by the way. You ever notice that? All these motherfuckers are old as fuck. They believe that their own version of God is talking, like Joe Biden is like, Yahweh is talking to me, woo, right? Like the guy in Iran is like, oh, Muhammad is talking to me. Like they all have schizophrenia and psychosis. And they get to decide what we do on the world stage? What? We're letting the sickest among us make all of our own decisions? So, a little bit of a problem, in my opinion. But hey, what am I going to do about that? So.